Have you ever heard what they say about men with small Game Boys? They have small dicks. The Game Boy Micro. Released in September 2005, this little guy was the final member of the Game Boy family, and boy was it a bit of a questionable one because, as I'm sure most of you watching are aware, the Game Boy Micro released after the Nintendo DS. This was during a time where Nintendo weren't fully sure if the DS would catch on, so they were kind of keeping the Game Boy line of systems alive in the background, and they did this so they could always go back to the Game Boy if the whole dual screen technology and touchscreen technology of the Nintendo DS just didn't catch on. And obviously, it did catch on. The Nintendo DS absolutely blew up, and following that, Nintendo had no reason to keep making Game Boys, so that leaves the Game Boy Micro in a really peculiar position in Nintendo's history of handheld systems, because there was never really a definitive reason for someone to go out there and buy one of these when they could just get a DS, which could already play Game Boy games, or could alternatively just get a Game Boy Advance SP, which was bigger, had backwards compatibility to Game Boy Color and Game Boy games, and was a more comfortable design overall to actually play games on, which is pretty important. Despite all of that though, I think most people out there will agree that the Game Boy Micro is a pretty cool system. It just wasn't one of Nintendo's most successful. And what's even cooler about the Game Boy Micro is its special edition systems, which is what this video is actually going to be about. I've done my research and I've gotten together every single special edition Game Boy Micro, and what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be placing each model into one of three categories. They will either go into the good, the bad, or the ugly. Let's get into this. The Game Boy Micro 20th Anniversary Famicom Edition. This is probably the most well-known and well-recognized special edition Game Boy Micro out there. I absolutely adore the color scheme on this system, and I really wish I owned one of these, so if anyone out there has one and wants to give it to me for free, that would be appreciated. Anyways, that gold faceplate along with the nice red color just look beautiful. And if you flip it over, the back of the system is all red, and it's got a really nice 20th anniversary stamp with a little 8-bit Mario, which is a nice touch. And when I was researching for this video, I actually found a picture of the inside of the box as well, and this is what it looks like. And I just think that's really cool. Not only is it an amazing system, but it's also got a really nice collectible box as well, which is something I personally appreciate. So this is probably one of the best special edition Nintendo systems ever. So without a doubt, this one is going in God tier. The Game Boy Micro Final Fantasy IV Edition. This Game Boy Micro has a blue and white color scheme, and I'm sorry guys, I know I always get roasted for this, but I haven't played a single Final Fantasy game in my life, so I don't actually know who these people are. I will say though that the dog has a pretty creepy stare. It kind of looks like it's staring straight into my soul right now, and I honestly feel like that would be a bit distracting to me when I'm playing a game on this thing. Looking at the backplate of the system, it's blue with a little Final Fantasy stamp on it as well, and that all looks well and good, but I don't know, I don't really like this faceplate. Just the way that they're kind of ultra zoomed in doesn't really look that great to me anyways, and the point I mentioned about the doggo over here just staring into your soul is a thing as well, so I think people are gonna hate me for this, but I'm putting it in the bad. The Game Boy Micro Mother 3 Edition. So this is it. It's a maroon colored Game Boy Micro, and I'm so sorry guys. I've got no idea what this faceplate is meant to even represent. You know what? Since I know that's a pretty poor effort on my part, I'll do a quick 5 minutes of research right now. I'll be right back. Okay, so I looked it up, and apparently it's just meant to represent like wear and tear on the buttons of the system. For anyone out there who's played Mother 3 and actually knows what the f***'s going on here, leave a comment down below. And if you're able to explain what's going on here better than I can, I suggest that you start up a YouTube channel and make videos, because you'll do a way better job than me. But based just on looking at it, not having played Mother 3 ever, I don't really like this design. Like, I don't know, I get that it's a rare system and all, but I look at it and I just feel like there's nothing really here to wow me, so I'm putting this one in the ugly. I can already tell that this video is going to piss off a lot of people, but whatever, I'm sticking to my guns here. The Game Boy Micro Pokemon Center Edition. This is a Game Boy Micro with a black faceplate and red outer shell, which has a cute little Pikachu outline in the top right, and that's pretty much it for this one. Well, sorry, there is also a Pokemon Center stamp on the back, but yeah, other than that, there's not too much to look at with this system. This actually has a very similar problem to a lot of the Game Boy Advance SP limited editions for the Pokemon franchise, where they really just do these minimalistic Pokemon designs, and they barely represent the franchise. Like, if I were to remove that Pikachu outline in the top right, this system wouldn't represent Pokemon at all. So for those reasons, this one is going in the ugly. The Game Boy Micro Toonami Edition. Now, I know I said that some of the prior mentions on this video were rare, but this one is truly rare. There are basically no pictures available of this system online, and there were only ever 50 recipients of this system from a contest that was held back in the day. Just looking at the design here, I think it looks pretty awesome. I love the pattern on the left-hand side of the faceplate. I will say the right-hand side of the faceplate is a little bit lacking there with just the Toonami logo, but I think the awesome silhouetted pattern design on the left more than makes up for that. Overall, I like it, so it's going in the good. The Game Boy Micro CoroCoro Edition. Similarly to the Toonami edition, this Game Boy Micro was only available through winning a contest on the CoroCoro magazine, and there were only 50 of these ever made, so there's not a lot of pictures of these online, but luckily some very smart people out there have made custom faceplates which resemble what this system would have looked like, and I believe that's what's on your screen right now. I unfortunately just couldn't find any high quality images of an original CoroCoro edition of the Game Boy Micro. But nonetheless, I don't know who the dude on the right is, but I mean, he looks kind of happy and he's winking. He's just having a good time over there, so I don't mind that. And overall, the color scheme on this one is quite nice as well. And I'm pretty sure this is a picture of the back of an original system, but nonetheless, there's nothing too special here. This is just a base Game Boy Micro backplate. So overall, I don't mind this one. I'm definitely not a CoroCoro magazine guy. I've literally never read one, so I can't say I'm personally invested in it, but the overall design is nice, so this one is going in the good. And that actually wraps it up for this video. Surprisingly, there was only ever 6 special edition Game Boy Micros ever released. And I know there were a few controversial placements in this video, so if you would have ranked them differently, please let me know in the comments down below. And yeah, that's just about it for this one, so I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.